Our next segment is hosted by somebody who's been distributing the future to me since I got here. So we are going to see what an actual Gen AI blueprint for operating a business looks like, and this segment will be led by my dear colleague, Mr. Alpha Zhang, Head of JPAC Customer and Partner Solution Engineering for Chrome Enterprise. Please welcome him.
Well, thank you, Ari. Good afternoon. Well, how's everyone doing? Great. That's right. I think we all need a bit of more energy for the last part of the session. Well, before we go to serious, for those who's traveling here to Singapore, or maybe for those of you who have been here for a bit while, how many of you have managed to find out the best chili crab in Singapore? Raise up your hand. Oh, only Ari. Wow. That means that's the only KPI for tonight. And you will know why I ask you this question later. So my name is Alpha. I lead the JPAC Chrome Enterprise Customer and Partner Solution Engineering team. So it's a privilege to be here to close off the show with you. Well, we have seen the vision. We have also saw the great roadmap. But to be honest, after hearing 2 days of Agentic AI, maybe just wondering, I wanted to see how it actually works. I wanted to understand how it can really help to apply to our day-to-day work. We want to do something a little bit different today. We want to do something a little bit dangerous today. Sounds fun, right? There will be no more slides, no more what-ifs. Picture this scenario. Red alert. Raw materials cost just jumped 40%. Well, that's the message you receive on Monday morning. You open up the laptop. How are you going to feel? 40% increase for the raw material. Your margin, gone. Your quarterly target, impossible. In the old days, that means 6 months of panic for the entire corporate. This also means there will be unlimited meetings and delayed execution. But today, we want to show you the new world. We want to show you how Google Workspace with Gemini, Gemini Enterprise, Google Workspace Studio, Noble LM, Chrome Enterprise Premium, how we can put it all together to bring you the future of work. To do this, we are not just looking at the screen. We are honored to have the entire leadership team from Symbol. Later, you will meet the CMO from Symbol. You're also going to meet the R&D lead, the procurement manager, the HR manager, the factory manager. You're going to see them how Google Workspace with Gemini, Gemini Enterprise, Noble LM, Google Workspace Studio, CEP can really bring all the dots together to really transform how we can quickly solve the crisis. Not in 6 months, within 1 hour. So without further ado, the show begins.
David, I've just seen the email. 40%? A 40% increase effective immediately? That is ridiculous. That's not a margin cut, that's the entire business. We will be negative on every piece of clothing we produce. Okay then, we shall discuss more on this over lunch. David, could you please help us, as this is a serious issue?
I am sorry, but this is a global problem. Every textile company is facing the same issue. My hands are tied.
I understand. Thank you for your time, David, but I gotta go. My daughter's school play is starting soon. Let's catch up again soon.
Wah, bikin ini ya dia. jam-jam daging di cangkangnya.
The earth is my home. I promise to keep it healthy and beautiful. I will love the land, the air, the water, and all living creatures.
I am the mighty crab. My shell keeps me safe. It is strong and protects me from harm.
With friends, I will save the earth.
Hey Fenfei, I just thought of a crazy idea. I need you to help me to look into crab shells as possible materials for textile production. With that information, please create a proposal and an audio summary to share with other leaders so they can listen to it on the go.
Yeah, I will take a look into this right away.
Hi everyone, my name is Fen Fei, and I'm the operational manager from Simba Retail. Between the both of us, I think my boss has finally lost it. Shirts made from crab shells? Anyways, since I use Gemini on a day-to-day basis, let's just throw into there and see what it says. And within seconds, Gemini is able to give me a response. And it looks like, oh, my boss is right. I should really stop doubting her. But the key ingredient here is chitosan. However, I need to do a little more research to know more about this material. For that, I'll move on to deep research. First, I'll click on the two drop-down menu in Gemini and select deep research. For today, we'll be using sources from Google Search and from my drive. And on a side note, Gemini 3 is out. It outperformed all the other models in the market in terms of problem solving or multimodality. And I'm going to insert a prompt that I usually use for my research. Let's take a look. So for starters, I'll give Gemini a persona as an expert researcher. Then I'll conduct a value-driven feasibility study on chitosan. Then I'll attach all the parameters that I want in the report. Once I'm happy with it, I'll click send. Let's see what Gemini is thinking so far. Looks like it's looking through all the documents in my Google Drive. Let's speed up this process. As you can see here, it managed to locate all the documents that are required for this report. And it will analyze the contents and generate a detailed research plan for me. Once I'm happy with this plan, I'll just click on Start Research. So what Gemini is doing right now is that it's looking through hundreds of sources, not just from my drive, but of course, on the internet. This will take an average person weeks or even months to do so. However, for Gemini, this will just take him a couple of minutes. That being said, this will still take quite a bit of time for Gemini. So we have the report prepared here. And this is the completed report that is generated with deep research. Let's take a look. As you can see, the report is very detailed. It includes all the prompt and parameters that I want it to have. But this is not the key things that I want to show you. Let's go all the way to the bottom. You can see the sources that's being used in this report. That's quite a lot of them. That's all searched in the internet and my internal drives. But that is not all. Gemini also uses sources that it read but is not used. So what this tells me is that Gemini ensures the accuracy of this report by cross-referencing all the sources. However, I still do need to make some changes to this report. And I can simply export this to docs by clicking this button here. And in just a couple of seconds, an exact replica of the document is created in Google Docs. And I can make the changes as I want in here. My bosses are really busy, and they do not have time to read through such a detailed report. As such, an audio overview is necessary for them to absorb all this content. And for that, I'll move on to NotebookLM. In the past, this would take me days to summarize the report and to create a storyboard and to record myself doing the audio overview. But with Notebook LM, I can simply upload the report and head over to the studio panel. Let's take a closer look. As you can see here in Notebook LM, there's other things that you can create, such as a video overview, reports, infographics, slide decks, and data table. But today, we'll just be focusing on the audio overview. With a simple click, and in a couple of minutes, Notebook LM is able to generate for me a podcast that you can listen to on the go. With that, let's relay this crazy new idea to my bosses.
Gemini app, deep research, and Notebook LM didn't just save time. It validated the Chitosan market in minutes. However, reports don't withstand impact. Fiber does. The challenge shifts from mining data to mining durability. We are done researching, and now R&D must engineer the solution.
Is enormous. And the financial impact is what really sells this internal pivot. Let's just revisit those numbers because they are astonishing.
Cabin crew prepare for landing.
Hey Sarah, I just listened to the Notebook LM audio overview. What can you tell me about this new idea?
Motivation. And that's why Chitosan is the best alternative. It hits every metric we're looking for.
Thanks, Sarah. Great proposal. I really appreciate how quickly you pivoted after the silver cent price hike. Siti, could you start looking into the optimal composition for this new product?
Actually, Sarah gave me a heads up yesterday, so I'm already on it. I've started the initial development.
That's what I like to hear. Keep me posted on the progress.
Hi everyone, I'm Siti, the R&D head of Symbol Retail. I just got a call with Herman and Sarah. Let me look through the meeting notes that Gemini has generated for me. In the past, I'll be scrambling to write down the requirements, often missing key details while trying to keep up. But now I just rely on Take Notes for me in Google Meets, so that it can handle the admin while I focus on the strategy. Great. It flagged my first immediate action, which is to begin the initial formulation of the fiber. Now, this feasibility study would take around 4 weeks, but I know just the tool to use. I'm going to use DeepThink in Gemini Ultra. Now, DeepThink is not a standard language model. It's actually a reasoning engine for complex problem solving, so it explores multiple streams of thought while trying to find the best possible solution instead of the most probable one. Now I'm going to ask it to act as a polymer chemist and solve an engineering problem, which is to create a fiber strong enough for high-impact sports, but also using sustainable chemistry. I'm not going to give it a generic description. I'm going to ask it to mathematically derive that solution using the rule of mixtures equation to ensure that we hit our tensile strength targets. Let's send it in. Now, DeepThink is going to take a while to formulate its response, so I have preloaded the response over here. Now, as we can see in the report, it's pretty comprehensive. It starts with a yarn architecture, followed by the solvent choice. Now, the solvent choice stated here is acetic acid or lactic acid. These are the sustainable choices used that do not use toxic chemicals like the DMAC. Awesome. Next, it goes on to a quantitative analysis, calculating the degree of deacetylation, and followed by the blend ratio. Now, you can see here is where the engineering power really is. They actually used the rule of mixtures equation, isolated the variable for the core weight, and finally found out that the core weight is 32.7%. Now, if you realize what just happened here, to calculate this specific polymer algebra, we usually require to hire an external consultant. And that means 3 weeks of lead time, significant billable hours just to get a theoretical model. So now we have just saved on time, manpower, and cost in just a few minutes. And it works further than a consultant. It also applied a safety margin, and finally found that we require a 40-60 blend ratio. Great, that's awesome. Now we have the formula, we need to operationalize this. So we're also going to ask for a cost model. Now I'm going to put in a prompt. Based on this 40-60 architecture, we're going to ask it to, hold on, we're going to ask it to calculate the raw material consumption for a 10,000 meter pilot run. Now, sending that in. Here, we can see that it first established the parameters and assumptions. Then, using that same calculative power, it calculated the total yarn mass, broke down the polymer consumption for the 40% core, 60% sheath, and then finally calculated that to dissolve this specific amount of chitosan mass, we will require 5 liters of total solvent volume. Now that is precise operational planning, it's not an estimate. And furthermore, it projected that we would have a waste of 0.1 liters. This is a specific chemical runoff data that the CFO would require to calculate the environmental tax exposure. Great. Now I have all my findings. I'm going to send it to the leadership team.
Gemini Deep Think compressed weeks of engineering into a precise formula instantly. But physics alone won't sway the board. We need to unify the data across Sheets, Salesforce, and Jira. The goal is to transform operational innovation into a financial certainty. The CFO needs a single source of truth.
Yanesh, are you suggesting that we double the price of all our silver cent products? This is ridiculous. We will lose the trust of all our customers.
With the price hike of silver, this is the only way we can break even. Besides, all our competitors are doing the same thing.
This goes against our principles, and there must be an innovative solution that we are not seeing. Have you taken a look at the proposal that Citi and her team drafted?
Yes, I have, but no other companies have done this before. I can let you know whether this pivot is financially feasible.
Please let me know. The fate of this company will depend on how we act in the coming days.
Hi everyone. I know I look a little bit young to be the CFO of Symbol Retail, but hold on to that thought. So my head of R&D, Citi, just pitched me a pivot, activewear made from crab shells. Well, this whole idea seems a little fishy to me, right? But here's the high-stakes reality. Silver prices are up 40% year over year. And my core challenge is to justify an initial CapEx investment while also dealing with market uncertainty surrounding my current silver line. So although the idea is good, I need to ensure that this idea is financial genius. So what you're looking at is the internal risk report that's been generated by the R&D team. And what I want to do here is to make sure that we can quantify our exposure to the silver market before I spend any money on the Chitosan pivot. So I'm going to quickly jump over to Gemini Enterprise. Just give me a second. Right. And the first question you might be wondering is why Gemini Enterprise, right? Why not Gemini? And the answer is this. I use extensive AI agents within my workflow, and it's a huge boost to my timeline in terms of the way I work. So let me quickly ask Gemini to analyze this report. I'm going to ask it to act as a strategic analyst and to provide me the financial and regulatory risk of staying with my current silver line. And I also want it to compare to the Chitosan alternative. So here's the good part. Along with my internal resource that I'm referring to over here, I'm also leveraging Google Search, which allows me to scan the public landscape and provide additional regulations that I might be missing out. So I'm going to speed up the process over here and show you what the response looks like. So let me quickly highlight the important parts. So yeah, here it is, the 40% increase highlighted by Gemini, as well as the additional regulatory risk that I need to take note over here. So yeah, it looks like there's an EU ban on heavy metals like silver, so I definitely need to take note of that, right? So the risk is identified, and it means that we have to pivot. So let's just make sure the math works out fine. So right now, I'm in the global production modeling dashboard. And over here, I'm going to leverage on the Gemini side panel. So Gemini is actually deeply integrated within Google Workspace. And the difference is that it allows you to query within the native data environment. So what it's actually going to do here is refer to the data in this tab and provide a response to it. So what I'm going to ask Gemini to do is to project for me the status quo total cost of the current silver line and also compare it to the pivot cost of the China-San model. So it's pretty amazing, right? The columns are being populated right in front of you. And it's also incorporating the additional CapEx investment that I wanted just for my year one. And I didn't need to know like the technical execution behind it. I mean, I've been out of touch for it for years, right? And the thing is, Gemini is not merely executing formulas for us here. It's understanding the operational context of our entire company right here. And I'm just going to ask it to quickly generate the summary for us as well. And these are some of the other resources that you can generate. So the important part over here is the break-even point, as shown by the intersection of both these lines, right? So the next part of my core challenge is that data is scattered across the organization, right? So we have the cost model here in Sheets. We have our revenue in Salesforce. And we have our operational tasks in Jira. And there are other enterprise systems, right, like SAP, Workday, that I'm sure you're familiar with. And what the troublesome part of this is that I do not have a single interface where I can connect all of these different data. And this is exactly where Gemini Enterprise has become really, really critical for my workflow. So let me just quickly show you how it looks like. It's going to act as the AI layer that connects all of these different enterprise systems and allow me to take decisive action on a holistic view right here in this terminal. So my team has actually prepared a couple of agents for me. I'm going to show you one of them. So this is a capital governance agent. And what it's going to allow me to do is to stress test our capital expenditure requests against our real-time revenue in our enterprise systems. So let me quickly hop over to our initial interface. I'm going to tag the agent over here. And I'm going to ask it the following queries. So I want it to check BigQuery for our current real-time cache. And I want it to run covenant stress tests to make sure we are under the limits. And this is defined by our operations. And I want it to also check Salesforce for any closed opportunity revenues that can service our upcoming debt. And finally, I also wanted to check Jira for any other critical blockers in my operational line to make sure that it doesn't in any way affect our current process. So let's look at the response. And it's quite detailed, right? That we have a $4.5 million cache. That proves liquidity right there. We have our Salesforce. It's identified our top expansion deal. So of course, we can service our debt now. And the last part is that we have ensured that in Jira, there's 0 open tickets as well. So let me quickly show the dashboard. And right, looks like Gemini Enterprise is right. Like, so yeah, let's go on back to it. And with this, we've finally established that I'm able to connect all of these different data across the enterprise and make a final decision for the operational go-ahead. So what I want to do now is to package all of these information, and I want to send an email to my executive team. So I may jump to Gmail, but you know what? I'm just going to do it right here. So let me quickly put in the prompt. What I want to tell the executive team is to start the procurement process immediately, because I think that is the next priority. And let's look at what Gemini Enterprise is able to generate. So maybe in the interest of time, let me just quickly show what it's able to generate, and there you go. You even have the information that we've done across the entire process. You can see the summary, you can see the initial CapEx investment, and I also have the next steps ready for our supply chain, right? I don't know how they're gonna handle that, but let's see what they do. Right.
Enterprise agents unified our data to secure the funding. Now the capital must flow into operations. We need a global supply chain that guarantees speed, scale, and sustainability.
From bustling coastal towns to tranquil ocean huts, crabs thrive. These incredible crustaceans are abundant in waters around the globe, making them a staple in the diets of countless cultures. Whether steamed, boiled, or baked, The sweet, delicate flavor of crab meat is a globally celebrated delicacy. But there's another side to this booming industry. After the meat is harvested, what remains is the shell, and it's not just waste. The material in crab shells is the second most common organic material on Earth, and also a waste product from crab production plants.
Hey Wiyan, good job in sourcing all these potential suppliers for crab shells. I love the suggestion of sourcing from crab production plants. So your next task is to identify which of these companies we can work with by evaluating their performance records and production capabilities. Then I need you to look through their proposal and check their compliance standards. Lastly, prepare a negotiation strategy with these suppliers.
Hi, I'm Lian, the procurement officer. Okay, so looks like the big focus for today is for the next quarter is to launch the new sustainable activewear line with Chidoson. To make this happen, I need to source for high quality crab shells, and I need to do it fast without compromising our rigorous sustainability standards. My manager should know that sourcing of supplier is a lot of manual work. Let's see if Gemini can get this done quickly. So in here, I'm gonna take the data from BigQuery inside Google Sheets. So this contains all of the suppliers that I've worked with previously. This will set the context that I need, and it's done. So now I don't really have time to go through hundreds of rows today. So I make use of Gemini side panel to have it do the heavy query, to do the query for me. And look at this, it's done. So it did not just filter the list, it actually ranks them based on our specific business rules. So with that, I can move on to the next phase, which is to process documents and company proposals. Reviewing all these documents is usually a massive time sink for me, and I will use Workspace Studio for me to automate the whole flow. So for the first step, once we add let me go through the flow first in Workspace Studio. So once the document is being added inside the Workspace Studio, it will trigger a gem, which is the Risk Analyst gem, and check through all the contents inside the file. It will update the spreadsheet automatically. So let's test it out. Here in Drive, I'll drop the document in first. And I'll explain what goes on behind the scenes. So it's effectively checking through all the documents and checking through our company's standards and calculating the risk factors as well. So I'll go through how it works at the back end. So from here, we can see that once the file is being added into the folder, it gives us a response based on this, and it adds a new row to the sheet. So look, even highlighted that this company is safe to work with, and we have effectively de-risked the whole supply chain. So now I have to go to the next step, which is get negotiation strategy from the suppliers. So I'll make use of Gemini Enterprise to do this. So Gemini Enterprise allows us to conduct a deep analysis of the past 3 years' emails that we have with the suppliers. And this allows me to have come up with a negotiation strategy to understand them better, as well as knowing what they are willing to give up. So you may be asking, why Gemini Enterprise? So Gemini Enterprise is deployed right here in our secure enterprise environment, and I don't have to worry about data leakage. It's the only AI tool that I can rely on to securely and safely access these emails. So I'll move on to the next one, so we can see that this is the results. It found out that this is the 2 emails that we found 2 years ago, and also they've give us countermeasures. So now I don't really want to prepare, now that I have the data, the strategy, as well as the compliance, I don't really have time tonight to just format the slides. So I'll make use of Gemini to have it create it for me. So while it's loading, I'll show the preloaded one, this one. So it shows the overall, it has generated a draft in few minutes. So it gives us the overall strategy and also the shortlisted suppliers. It gives us the comparative analysis, so I don't have to, so with a few minor tweaks, I can get to these slides, and now I feel ready. In the past, this whole entire process, from filtering to generating the slide deck, would have taken days, if not weeks. Today, we achieve supply chain resilience in minutes. That is real speed to market. Time to make some activewear.
Leveraging BigQuery and Gemini in Sheets actually secured our supply chain, filtering thousands of suppliers and optimizing costs in seconds. Materials are now on site and production is live. This is how we must shift from reactive firefighting to a proactive resolution. The digital advantage now moves to the factory floor.
These fabric used to be crab shells, and they're slowly replacing polyester. The polyester fabric makes up more than half of all of our clothing. But one company, Symbol Retail, is trying to change that. They can turn about 1.5 million crab shells into fabric in a single day. Not only they are biodegradable and good for the environment, they also have anti-odor properties, perfect for activewears.
Hey, new guy, it looks like we have an issue with this batch of textile production. Could you please look into it for me? Check all the textile machines and figure out which one isn't performing as efficiently as it should be. I need this wrapped up by the end of the day.
Hi everyone, I'm the plant operator here at Symbol Retail. What I've just saw was some problems of machines causing an issue with our latest batch of products. Right? In the past, this would have triggered a war room full of engineers looking at dozens of spreadsheets, spending hours just to find the root cause of the issue. But I don't have those hours. I only have till the end of today. So I have Gemini Enterprise, which is used as a cognitive layer on top of manufacturing execution systems, which delivers the data to this agent. So watch how I turn reactive firefighting into proactive resolutions in minutes. So first, I'll be asking the agent to find out the real-time operating effective equipment status for all my plants. And here we go. So the agent here is actually not just searching for a document, but it's actually querying our live data sources, pulling all these sensor data from across the entire floor. And within seconds, we can see that the agent has written us, plant 1 is the one that's having the issue of having 88% OEE. However, our target is actually 95%. That 7% operational gaps represents about $250,000 loss in revenue. And if you don't fix it now, it's going to be detrimental for the company. So next, usually this is the hard part. I'll need to find out what's the issue. I'll have to find out if it's the motor, if it's me, the operator, or is it the raw materials? But I'm not going to guess the solution. I'm going to ask Gemini Enterprise to analyze unstructured shift reports and sensor logs just to find out the root cause. In the past, this would have taken the analysts about 2 days just to find the root cause, as he's looking through different kind of modalities of data, and as well as coming out with a proper root cause analysis of it. And right here, we can see that the agent has written that the downtime was actually attributed to a calibration drift that occurred during the last 24 hours. With that, the agent has actually achieved an instant, precise diagnosis in just seconds, and that would have taken many days of manpower. Now we are a step closer to protecting our revenue.
However, knowing the problem is only half the battle won. We need to find out the proper solution for this. I'm going to ask the agent to generate a step-by-step technical repair guide based on our operation manual and as well as our internal historical best practices. Now look, as a new guy here who have only been at the factory for about 2 months, I think reading through all the manuals and knowing the internal historical best practice is going to take me days or at least even a certain number of hours just to find out a comprehensive fix for this issue. So in fact, the fix that I come up with at the end of the day may not even be the correct one or even the closest to the fix. So now look, usually that calibration drift in this Z-axis motor over here requires a very precise, intuitive, or rather a very experienced worker who has been with the factory for a long time to know that this will be the fix for our machines. So the agent has effectively digitalized the institutional knowledge, ensuring that every employee can diagnose and prescribe fixes with precision. So our goal here is actually to make sure that the speed of intelligence matches the speed of execution. Hence, I'll ask the agent to draft a message and send the message to the internal group chat that we have over all the rest of the floor staff, ensuring that this new maintenance protocol is maintained through the rest of the shift. So in minutes, so in minutes, we have diagnosed from a $250,000 problem to deploying a solution, safeguarding our revenue and our Q4 production goals. So the agent has acted as our intelligent operations partner, linking speed, revenue protection, and organizational policies in one seamless workflow. All right, as we wait for this Gmail to come out with our response, we can vet through what we are sending to the team, making sure that I have signed off, and once I'm happy with it, I can click on the action button, and this will make sure that the message is delivered to the rest of the floor staff. With that, now let's get back to production.
We instantly unlock tribal knowledge to resolve complex drifts and protect revenue. With operations stabilized, we attack the market. We cannot wait months for development. We must deploy a production-grade digital experience in just 1 week.
Wow, what an amazing ad. I can't believe their clothing is made from crabs.
I heard they have an online store. Let's check it out.
Wow, they have such a wide range of products. Oh, look.
Yes. All right, team. This is an urgent project with tight deadlines. Kelin, I need you and your team to come up with an ad for our new sustainability activewear in 1 month. Nigel, I need you to create a fully functioning online store for this rebranding. It has to be clean and easy to use.
No problem. And I think I can use this new tool that I just learned. Hey everyone, I'm Nayo, the software developer for Symbol Retail. Right? Now, we have the business case and the products. The last thing we are missing is the engineering. My team has estimated a timeline of 6 months to build, test, and deploy the new Symbol e-commerce platform with virtual try-on capabilities. In the current market, 6 months is an eternity. We need a minimum viable product in days. I'm going to use Firebase to demonstrate vibe coding. moving directly from natural language requirements to production-ready full-stack application. But first, let me create a product requirement document within Google Docs. So right here, I have Google Docs. I'm going over to File, New, Help Me Create. Here, I'm going to use the feature that I just mentioned and generate the PRD. I'm going to feed it our specific requirements, which are dynamic filtering, gridding, and complex virtual try-on logic using camera inputs. So I'm going to paste it here. Now, the amazing thing about this is that I am able to reference to my predefined PRD template. All right, the features that I've typed in: recruitment banner, filters, gridding, search capability, and the most important, the virtual try-on capability. Yep, this looks good. Let's create. All right, within just a few seconds, Gemini is able to capture the requirements of the e-commerce website interface. Now, this is our blueprint. Next, we enter Firebase Studio. This is where the acceleration will happen. I'm going to import the PRD that we just generated, asking Firebase Studio to scaffold the entire application. Okay, so after I paste it in and generate, it will give me a plan and it will generate the codes. Okay, so after we generate the codes, what Firebase will give us is something nothing short of amazing. But we can do better. With a few prompts, we are able to make it to our liking. And this is the end result that I can come up with within just a few hours. Now, how about security? Has anybody thought about integrating it? Luckily, we have something called Chrome Enterprise Premium. This helps us to ensure safety without sacrificing speed. After we deploy, we will ensure that all access to this application is protected by CEP. In summary, CEP uses data loss prevention and context-aware access to enforce granular policies and ensure safety of our company data. And with that, we are clear to launch. What was scoped for 6 months of development is now a functional compliance check MVP, with user testing available for them. We didn't just write codes, we eliminated the opportunity cost of delay. And this is how Symbol Retail stays ahead of the rest.
Vibe coding compressed a 6-month secure into 6 days. The platform is now up and running. Now, the bottleneck is talent. Facing a deluge of applicants, we cannot wait. We must empower non-technical teams to build their own hiring tools and find the perfect candidate instantly.
Welcome to the Symbol Retail Sales Recruitment Assessment. This session will be recorded for future evaluation. Your first task is a product knowledge assessment via video response on Google Vids. You have up to 10 minutes to describe how you would sell the benefits of our sustainable activewear. Click on the link below to record your response on Google Vids, then download and upload it to the link provided.
Afternoon. Imagine standing in front of a buyer. You don't just sell activewear, you sell sustainability and performance. The key is the thread.
everyone, I'm Jaslyn. I don't know why I look so scary there, but I'm actually really nice. So I'm the recruiter of Symbol, and with this upcoming store launch, we need to hire a store manager. So to ensure quality and reach, we decided to ask all applicants to submit a 10-minute video application for us to find out more about their personality, but this creates a lot of data and takes up a lot of time. You can imagine, as a recruiter, how many videos I had to watch to go through it. So since it's a very long process, the cost of that delay is losing top talent to all my competitors. So we can actually empower a non-technical team to build custom apps for me to solve these kind of problems. So let me show you how. So this is AppSheet, and AppSheet is actually a no-code, low-code solution in Google Workspace that allows non-technical users, like myself, a recruiter, to be able to create custom apps. So I will be using this Make an App with Gemini feature to build this video analysis tool. So with all the videos that I'm getting, I want my app to be able to help me analyze the video, do the heavy lifting for me, and also give me an assessment breakdown of all the candidates so that I don't have to watch all the videos on my own. All right, so I'll just input an appropriate prompt. CP, so good. Okay, so just with natural language, you can see that the AI translates what I've given it and generated a functional application. So the database, interface, and also all the things I need for the app is here. So I'll just click Create App, and usually this will take some time. So just like the rest, I've preloaded all my assets here. So this is the first version. So just like that, a recruiter like myself just created a functional application. But of course, this is just the first unpolished app, and I know my workflow better than anyone else, so I've added all the changes that I need into this app. So here's the second version. So here are all my active jobs, the store manager here. I can also post more jobs and see all the applicant lists that applied. So let's take a look. You can see all of their information, and also, yeah. But this app is just an app. It still can't do what I want it to do. So let's add some intelligence into it. Okay. Done. So this is the AppSheet editor view. So as you can see here, when the submission is made, I want Gemini to analyze the video for me. So I give Gemini a very specific recruiter persona and grounded it in this expert role. So what this does is I instructed it to evaluate all the candidates against a strict 5-dimensional competency framework tailored to a store manager's role. So this ensures that every applicant is judged fairly and there's no human bias. Yeah. So I also added another shortlist another automation, where it will automate all the applicants, shortlist the top 5, and send an email to me. So aside from having all the assessments, I will get only the best. So let me just give you a preview of what that looks like. So this is an assessment report for this person who got a score of 23 of 25. There's the overall feedback summary, key strengths, and even dimensional scoring and timestamps of the video. So I can even check it out if I want to. So this is really powerful. All right, so with this email automation, let's check it out. So this is what the report gave me. It gave me that Ben Chan is the top scorer with full score of 25 of 25 and is highly recommended. So let's check his profile out, and let's open his assessment to verify Gemini's claims. Okay, we can see that he did get a full score, and there's an overall feedback summary that exceptional find for the store launch, which is really great to hear. The key strengths and also dimensional scoring here. And what I noted was he branded Chitosan as nature's high-tech shield, which Gemini found that as a plus point. So this shows that Gemini not only identified a candidate that knows our brand and our product, but it also knows not just the duties of the job. Okay, so I've seen enough, and I think this candidate is perfect. So I've sent all the information to the hiring manager, and they've already done interviews and gotten the green light. So now let's send him an offer letter. So going back to his profile, I'll just simply click Send Offer Letter, and you can see it populated all of his necessary information here. So let me show you the integrations in Google Docs. So Workspace has great third-party integrations, and while there's many solutions, today I'll be using PandaDoc as our third-party signing solution. So I'll simply input his email here, and that's it. We have a store manager.
We empowered non-coders to solve the talent gap instantly. This completes our journey from crisis to launch. We didn't just use a software, we used an intelligent operations partner. By unifying research, finance, and ops, Google Workspace and Gemini with Gemini Enterprise have defined the speed of the AI-enabled enterprise.
Thank you so much for coming down to the opening of our flagship store. I hope you enjoyed yourself today, and we hope to see you again in the future. We have one more announcement for you, and we have a new update to our online retail platform that I am very excited to share with you. We have an interactive experience when you visit our website through the QR code. Simply take a selfie, and it will generate an image of you wearing our latest merch from our collaboration with Google Workspace with Gemini. You can also share this image with your friends and family. And that is all we have for you today, and thank you, and goodbye.
Nano Banana is the widely used nickname for Google's state-of-the-art image generation and editing. Scan the QR code flash through your screens, take a selfie, and unleash the magic. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Kit Valderrama from the Customer Engineering team. I hope everyone is scanning the QR code, flash through your screens. Please take a wonderful selfie and unleash the Gemini magic. In the Philippines, we call it #AImazing. So post this in your social media accounts and use the hashtag for our Southeast Asian event today. You will also be receiving a surprise merch from our team once you've already taken the selfie. I hope everyone tried it. Did Pat try it? Yes. Ari? Hayden? Sundar is here. Transfer it to the next one. Okay, as you know, Nano Banana is our image generation and editing model. You can use this to any image generation, may it be marketing material, may it be for your software development, procurement, and of course, even finance and legal. Oh, Caroline's here.
Limitless possibilities with Gemini.
All right, has everyone tried it?
Limitless possibilities with Gemini.
Gemini Enterprise is the future.
Accelerate with GWS with Gemini. Gemini drives innovation.
Gemini drives
Accelerate
innovation.
GWS with Gemini.
We're winning with GWS. We're winning with GWS with Gemini. Yeah. Winning with GWS winning with GWS with Gemini.
Accelerate with GWS with Gemini.
Limitless possibilities with Gemini. Limitless possibilities with Gemini. Gemini Enterprise is the future.
Winning with GWS. With Gemini. Limitless possibilities with Gemini.
Gemini makes my day.
Creating magic with
GWS with Gemini.
Gemini makes my day. Gemini makes my day.
Accelerate with GWS with Gemini.
Accelerate with GWS with Gemini. We're winning with GWS with Gemini. Yeah, winning with GWS with Gemini.
Scaling up with Gemini Enterprise, the future is here today.
Welcome back.
Limitless
How
possibilities.
amazing it
with
is.
Gemini.
Well, take a deep breath. We just turn it into from a company from a crisis to a flagship launch within an hour. This is the speed of Agentic Enterprise, powered by Google Workspace with Gemini, powered by Gemini Enterprise. So I hope you enjoy the show. And looking at the number here, for marketing, 70% less effort to quantify market demand instantly. For R&D, turns it from months to minutes to do the research and development. For finance, it gives you 100% visibilities to do a data-driven decision so fast. For operation, 1 million plus saved instantly. And for developer, you saw that. And instantly create an MVP that can be launched very fast. Last but not least is for our talent recruiters. They can quickly do our talent assessment powered by Gemini. Zero delay for the talent development. This is the power of Google Workspace with Gemini. This is the power of Gemini Enterprise. This is the power of Chrome Enterprise Premium. So I hope you enjoy the show. Now, let me hand it over to Dragana to tell you a little bit about behind the scene. Welcome, Dragana. Come onto the stage.
Thank you, Alpha. So, as we continue on very briefly, I just wanted to acknowledge all the amazing people that you've seen on the stage, including Alpha Zhang. Every single one of these demos were done by our trainees who've been with our team for only 5 months. They have worked tirelessly for the last 8 weeks. Now imagine 8 weeks, people who are not chemists, people who are not procurement experts, people who are not manufacturing experts, delivered that incredible, inspirational demo to you. So a little bit behind the scenes story. How did we create this? Because again, these are our trainees who are brilliant, but yet not all knowing. Behind all this is really Gemini. We used Ultra SKU, which has Flow, which is Google's filmmaking based on VO3 model video. So all the video generation was generated by Gemini. The storyline was generated by Gemini. Now, I did ask about how, where did we come up with crabs? And so the trainees told me they were fascinated by the crab emoji. that is something that you can only see at Google these days, but I think we're releasing it to everybody else. And then when they were brainstorming with Gemini to figure out what would be the innovative, sustainable material source for this demo, there's actual production of real crab shells into textile that basically just turned the lights on, and everything came together into this incredible story. So what is our call to action for the end of today, after 2 days that you've heard all kinds of inspirational ideas? I think that we can call you to 4 things. If you don't already have Google Workspace with Gemini and Gemini Enterprise, please get it. That's number 1. The next one, we want you to be playful. We want you to imagine the possibilities. I remember back in my day, one of the CIOs that I met who introduced some really amazing innovative technology. He, prior to being a CIO in a tech company, was a CIO in an advertising organization. So what he did to get a buy-in on the new tech, he actually talked to the stakeholders and generated advertising videos illustrating what the new business process, what the new employee experience and customer experience would look like. And we've given you the tools. Imagine the possibilities. Visualize them with our tools. And then play. Learn from experimentation. If our trainees of the 5 months were able to deliver this kind of story, your employees can do so much more. So share your wins, inspire others, and stay curious. And use Gemini. Thank you very much.